Hello everyone, welcome to Story Time at the Weathersfield Proctor Library. I'm Glenna Coleman, Youth Services Librarian, and this is our library Bear. You know, Bear was very lonely for about 10 weeks while the library was closed, and he's very happy now that it's open, and so am I. But I thought I would read some stories about courage because Library Bear was not at all afraid to be here alone at the library for such a long time. So let's read some stories about what it means to be brave. Our first book is called A Little Courage, and it is by Taltal Levi. A Little Courage. Every morning, I rise with the sun. Now, do you see the person we're talking about? Right here on this leaf. During the day, I play and have fun. My goodness, that does look like fun. I always wondered what happened with the toilet paper in the bathroom here at the library. I wonder, have you read this book, Bear? I search the house for little treasures. Sometimes I stumble onto the most curious things. I help myself to a glass of water on the warmer days. And I go on quests and adventures among the leaves and stems. But today is unlike any other, as I am being followed by a dark, scary shadow. What do you think that's going to be? Make a prediction. Must I hide now, forever? No, this is my house and I will not hide. And with a little courage, attack! What are you? Easy now. Can I really trust you? Dear scary shadow, you seem so gentle and nice. Let us be friends and explore the house. From this day on, we rise together with the sun. During the day, we play and have fun. My goodness, that looks like even more fun than the original. We search the house for treasures. Sometimes we stumble on the most delicious things, like a can of tuna. We help ourselves to a cool bath when the days get warm. I had a cat who loved to sleep in the sink in the bathroom. And we go on quests and adventures beyond the front door. And who are you? You'll have to use your imaginations to think of what happens next. This story was A Little Courage by Taltal Levi. Our next story about being brave is called Tiny T-Rex and the Very Dark Dark. I didn't know dark could be very dark. This book is written by Jonathan Stutzman and it's illustrated by Jay Fleck. Tiny T-Rex and the Very Dark Dark. Let me make sure I have the first page here. I don't want to skip any of the story. Tiny, it will be dark soon. Yes, Pointy. Soon it will be very dark. Tiny T-Rex and the Very Dark Dark. Oh, they don't look like they're having a good time. They look very worried. It is our first camp out in the backyard, and we are nervous. We have never slept outside before. We are mighty beasts. I am a Rex. Pointy is a Pointy, and Bob is my special squish. But even mighty beasts get scared if we can't sleep with our nighty lights. When I am inside, the dark doesn't seem so dark. But when I am outside, the dark is very dark. Outside, there are no nighty lights to turn on. And when there are no nighty lights, the grumbles and nombies come out. Okay, I don't think I've ever heard of grumbles and nombies, but they're obviously very worried about this. Mother says, there's always a light shining somewhere, Tiny, even in the dark. If you are brave and look hard enough, you will find it. But it is hard to be brave when you are scared of the crawly creeps, and it is hard to look for something when you have your eyes shut. Well, that's certainly true enough. Pointy and I thought up a secret plan to be brave. When the very dark dark comes, we will be ready. First, we will build a hiding fort. To hide our snacks and ourselves. Oh, there they are, building their hiding fort. I don't feel hidden. Look at the shape of the tent. No wonder he doesn't feel hidden. Next, we will make special helmets to protect our brains from the grumbles and nombies. I need a bigger helmet. The next part of the plan is the most important. We must hurry. We are running out of time The crawly creeps are closing in. Tap, 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 tap. Snore. I hear the grumbles. They're close. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Run, Pointy. The zombies are here. This is it. Our secret plan is almost ready. Now we will not be scared of the very dark dark because we have made a super bright nighty light. Click. Oh my goodness. How will they even be able to sleep? Our plan did not work. The very dark dark has got us. I am scared. Pointy is scared. Bob is scared. Maybe we can be brave together too. Oh, we are all scared together. Maybe we can be brave together too. Brave enough to open our eyes, look very, very hard. I thought their plan didn't work. What do you suppose that is? And find some light. It is a beautiful starry night with the moon. Well, that was Tiny T-Rex and the Very Dark Dark, written by Jonathan Stutzman and illustrated by Jay Fleck. It gets pretty dark in the library, I think, but Library Bear is not afraid of the dark. Well, our next story is called The New Dog. And this story is written by Barbara Shook Hazen, and it is illustrated by R.W. Alley. The New Dog. You know, I have been new to many places. I've moved very many times in my life, so I know what it's like to be new, and it does take some courage. Miss Pettibone fluffed Tootsie's fur, buffed his nails, and put bows on both ears. "Today is a special day," she said. "Today is your first day with Danny's dog walking group. You're a big dog now. You're big enough to make friends and learn new things." The excited way she said it made Tootsie wriggle with pleasure. Let's see if I can get the whole picture in. "Be a good dog," Miss Pettibone told Tootsie at the door. "Take care of my precious Tootsie," she told Danny Dougal. The old dogs eyeballed each other. "We'll take care of him all right," the biggest snorted. The others nodded. The door closed and Danny introduced Tootsie. "Tootsie, I'd like you to meet Bruiser, the biggest, Rex, the oldest, Fleet, the fastest, Cleo, a blue ribbon winner, and Pepe and Pal, the terrier twins." The old dogs sniffed Tootsie suspiciously. Tootsie barked and bowed politely, which always pleased Miss Pettibone. His bark came out a scared squeak. The old dogs howled. "That's enough," Danny said to Tootsie. "Walk," Danny said, without a pat or "pretty please." The old dog stepped out smartly. Tootsie lagged behind and looked in every store window the way he always did with Miss Pettibone. "Walk," Danny repeated, tugging at Tootsie's leash. "Try to keep up." At the corner there was a mud puddle. The old dog sloshed through it. Tootsie planted his paws and waited to be carried across, the way he always was by Miss Pettibone. "Walk, Tootsie," said Danny. "Pick up your own paws." Tootsie did and got a pebble in his left paw. Oh, this is not a good beginning to the day. Poor Tootsie. "See," Tootsie whimpered and showed Danny. "And no whining," Danny added as he picked out the pebble. Tootsie sulked. Miss Pettibone would have kissed his paw and carried him. "Puppy paws," the old dogs all snorted. "Precious Tootsie, want to play footsie?" Bruiser smiled and held out his big rough paw. To be friendly, Tootsie held out his small paw. Bruiser smacked it hard, toppling Tootsie into the gutter. Danny didn't see what Bruiser did, but he saw Tootsie's tomato-stained coat and the strand of spaghetti dangling from one ear. "No, Tootsie," Danny scolded. "On the sidewalk, not in the gutter. Together is the way we walk." In the park, the old dogs teased Tootsie when Danny wasn't looking. Rex tail thumped him and Bagel side bumped him. Fleet ran rings around him and tangled his leash. "How did that happen?" Danny asked, frowning. Cleo totally ignored Tootsie except for yawning in his face. Pepe and Pal nipped off Tootsie's ear bows, which Trixie juggled behind Danny's back. Danny didn't see that, but he saw Tootsie trying to retrieve them. "Down, Tootsie," he said. "Be a good dog or I'll have to take you home." As they walked, the old dog snorted. "Puppy paws, precious shrimp, Tootsie Wootsie, what a wimp." Well, they're not being very nice, are they? In fact, they're being bullies, aren't they? It takes a special kind of courage to deal with bullies. As they left the park, Bruiser, the biggest tease, whispered, "Look in the fountain to see something funny." Tootsie leaned over to look. Bruiser shoved Tootsie into the water and howled. Tootsie emerged, yipping and showing his teeth. "For shame, Tootsie," Danny scolded. "You are a naughty dog. I am going to have to take you home immediately and tell Miss Pettibone." Tootsie refused to budge. "Walk," Danny commanded. "I mean it, Tootsie." Tootsie did not move. "Walk," Danny said louder and pulled harder. Tootsie pulled too, the opposite way. Suddenly, there was a loud pop. Then a voice shouted, "Stop! Stay!" Danny yelled at the top of his lungs. Then he yelled, "Down!" and yanked at all the leashes, pulling the dogs behind the parked truck. Tootsie, tired of being scolded and told what to do, resisted. His collar snapped and he bolted free to the street. "Tootsie, come! Come, Tootsie!" Danny's voice was now a scream. Tootsie ran on, right in front of a man running with a shopping bag. "Out of my way, fluffer mutt!" The mean-looking man snarled and tried to kick Tootsie out of his way. Tootsie snarled back and sank his teeth into the man's leg. "Mad dog!" the man yelled as he fell. Tootsie held on tightly as sirens screeched, passersby screeched, and a policeman raced to the scene. "Don't make a move," the policeman ordered. Tootsie closed his eyes, waiting for the worst. "Anything you say can be held against you," Tootsie heard the words and the click of cold steel, but he felt warm fingers. Tootsie opened his eyes and saw the man handcuffed and kicking. He saw Miss Pettibone gasping and starting across the street. Most amazing of all, Tootsie saw the old dog still cowering behind the parked truck. He also saw a puddle of piddle under a shame-faced, droopy-tailed bruiser. The policeman gently stroked Tootsie and said, "Good, brave dog. You nabbed light-fingered Louie and the loot. But who do you belong to? I don't see a collar." "Me!" Miss Pettibone ran up and hugged Tootsie. "My dog-walking group," Danny piped up proudly. "Us," the old dogs barked and gave Tootsie the tails up sign. All except Bruiser, who was still cowering and trying to cover his puddle. That night, Tootsie got extra pats, doggy delights, and his pillow plumped by Miss Pettibone. The next day, Tootsie was eager to go with Danny and the old dogs, now new friends. After Tootsie was picked up, a new dog joined the group. He drooled and shook and tried to hide. "Take care of Tiny Timmy," the new dog's person said. "It's his first day and he's shy." The old dog sniffed suspiciously. "We'll take care of him all right." Bruiser eyeballed the others and snorted. "Not if I take care of him first," Tootsie said. He stepped in front of Bruiser and walked up to the new dog. "Welcome," he said. "Don't worry. Their bluff is bigger than their bite, especially the big ones. You'll do just fine." That story was The New Dog, written by Barbara Shook Hazen and with pictures by R.W. Alley. Well, I hope you enjoyed our 3 stories of bravery and courage in honor of Library Bear. And I'd just like to let you know that summer reading will be starting soon on June 20th. You can come by and pick up your materials and learn all about it. I hope you had fun at Library Storytime. I'm Glenna Coleman, Youth Services Librarian at the Weathersfield Proctor Library. Library Bear says bye. Till next time.